Welcome back to Understanding Special Education in the DDSB. In this segment of our video series, we focus on IEP development and implementation as an important part of supporting a student. The IEP is considered a living document that grows and responds to the needs of the child, with a focus on a full year of development towards a child's level of independence and success. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Squaw Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, learn, and live. The Durham District School Board is committed to learning environments that are safe, welcoming, respectful, equitable, accessible, inclusive, and free from discrimination while placing human rights and equity at the center. So the IPRC meeting has occurred. What's next? When the IPRC decisions have been finalized, schools have 30 school days to develop an individualized education plan, or IEP, that is responsive to the student's strengths and needs. The IEP is intended to be a living document that grows and adjusts with the child over the course of each school year. School staff will seek input from parents and guardians about the strategies and goals outlined in the IEP and can provide clarification of what has been included and why. The school team is responsible for the content of the IEP as a commitment to what is going to be implemented. The IEP can also list any equipment or resources the student is accessing as part of their programming. The IEP will have a transition plan developed to support a wide variety of transitions that can occur within a school year or school day, with a particular focus on the movement to a new grade or school. Some students will also have a behavior safety plan developed that supports any risk of injury behavior, and some may have additional support plans added for medical or emergency situations. Students with medical or emergency needs do not need an IEP to have a support plan developed as part of their plan of care. What's the goal of an IEP? First and foremost, it is about identifying the most significant strengths of a student in order to support the most significant needs. For example, a student who has strong oral language skills can be provided opportunities to use them to share their knowledge for assessment or communicate with peers. A student whose greatest need is phonological awareness or decoding, but strong technology skills, can be provided increased opportunities for the use of technology when reading texts. The IEP also includes the most updated and relevant assessments or diagnostic information. This helps the teacher use this information to develop goals or select curriculum expectations that are most appropriate, or to ensure that specific strategies or tools are included in the program. It also serves as a reminder that a detailed report exists that has more information about the student that can be referred to at any time. Accommodations and possibly modifications are also included in the IEP. An accommodation is a strategy or tool that can be added to help a student better access the curriculum, content, or activity. Modifications are a little bit different. The curriculum is set by the Ministry of Education in Ontario, and the general expectation is that students within a particular grade are exposed to all grade level curriculum in all subject areas and assessed on the essential and fundamental expectations. If a student has been formally identified by IPRC and have an IEP in place, they may be overwhelmed or unsuccessful if expected to be assessed on all of these curriculum expectations or at a grade level they are not yet ready for. Through assessment, the teacher will continue to check for understanding and adjust the number of expectation and possibly the grade level as well. The IEP allows us to tailor the program to the individual needs of the student. Accommodations can provide a wide range of things to support a student's needs. A simple example of an accommodation would be preferred seating. A student who struggles to focus or pay attention benefits from being seated closer to the speaker, away from other distractions, or using tools that help maintain focus while listening. With these tools or strategies in place, paying attention is much easier. Without them, the child may struggle. Accommodations come in many forms and can be simple or more complex. Accommodations can also include varying assessment methods in order to better understand what a child already knows, what they learn through teaching, and what they struggle with. Assessment methods can be accommodated to include oral assessment for students who struggle to produce answers in writing, recordings if a student struggles to present in front of their peers, assessment offered in much smaller chunks over a longer period of time, or simply with fewer questions on each page so they are not overwhelmed. As technology advances, even more possibilities can be put in place. Parents and guardians can provide very helpful information when it comes to developing an IEP. They may have community partners and support staff outside of school that have completed assessment, are providing therapy or training, or have made recommendations for the student. Parents and guardians can also provide very helpful information for engagement about what themes, topics, subjects, or activities students enjoy. The sharing of what strategies or tools are used at home or in other settings is also helpful, and if appropriate or manageable in a school setting, they may be added to the IEP. When the draft IEP is ready within those 30 days, it will be shared with families for feedback. Your voice is important in the IEP development, and IEP drafts can absolutely be shared with any community supports if you choose. Again, it is important to understand that what is in place in therapy or a clinical setting is not always possible in a school setting, but the information will still help better understand your child's needs. The draft IEP will not cover the entire school year on purpose. The fall IEP goes home for sharing in October. The teacher has had limited amount of time to really get to know your child, and the IEP is intended to be a responsive document that grows with your child over the course of the year. You can expect to be notified if any changes are made, and this would be noted in the consultation log of the IEP. You can also expect to see new goals added at the start of each term or semester to set the stage for the next learning block. Again, these can be adjusted if needed in response to the changing learning needs of each individual child.